Hey guys, what's up? This is Bret. Welcome to this week's episode of Friday on the Turntable. I'd like to take a quick moment to thank all of my subscribers, and for those of you that are new to my channel watching for the first time, welcome. Thanks for checking it out. Just a quick intro. My name is Bret Helm. I am the singer and bass player of a band called Audra, and obviously I write the Life on this Planet Music blog. And my Friday on the Turntable feature is usually one particular artist's album, or sometimes I'll do special videos, maybe ranking an artist's whole catalog. But today I'm talking about Charles Bradley, and I intended to do a feature on him a while back, but I'm really glad I waited because the circumstances that led to sparking today's video make it that much more extra special. So Charles Bradley, Victim of Love, his brand new album, 2013 on Daptone Dunham Records. As you can see, my copy here is a signed copy, and I will get to that here in a second. First off, I just want to give you a little bit of background on Mr. Bradley and how I discovered him. I guess it was around late 2010, early 2011. I was doing a search on YouTube for the bass player James Jamerson, great Motown bass player, and I was looking for live performances of his, and the little thumbnail feed that comes up on the side of YouTube, there was a song, "The World Is Going Up on Flames" by Charles Bradley, and I had never heard of him before. So I clicked on that link, just curious to see what it was, and started watching the video, and I was just immediately blown away by what I was hearing. And I was like, Charles Bradley, this song is so excellent. How come I have never heard it before? I mean, it sounded like it was from the late 60s, maybe early 70s, and I kept listening, and the more I was hearing it, I was just thinking, how is this guy not famous? How does the world not know about him? And so then as I'm looking, I look at the copyright date for the music video, and it says, I think it was 2011, and I was like, 2011, how is this possible? So I did some research on Charles Bradley, found out kind of his whole story, because listening to his songs and listening to the way he sings, he's someone that you really want to learn about. You want to kind of know the man behind it. You want to know what's causing this emotion to come out of the song. So I contacted the record label, and they sent me, I think it was an advanced copy, digital copy of the album, downloaded, and just instantly fell in love with it. And his first album, which is behind me here, No Time for Dreaming, was one of my favorite albums of 2011, and just really, really incredible. So on Tuesday, Charles Bradley was coming to town to perform here at a venue in Phoenix called the Crescent Ballroom, but unfortunately I was not able to go. Being a musician, I had some other obligations. But so fortunately, just a couple days before it, I found out that he was going to be appearing at a record store here in Phoenix called Zia Records, a chain of records, a local chain of record stores that's been here for years in the Valley, and he was going to make a quick appearance there and sign his album. So I made it a point to be down there, and so thus you can see my copies. Both copies of the record are signed. So Charles Bradley, the whole story behind him, he lived what I would consider a very very rough life. He was homeless when he was 12 or 14 years old. He lived on the subways. He'd sleep there at night. Just one kind of tragedy after another. He had formed a band, I think when he was in his early 20s or late teens, and the guys in his band got sent to Vietnam, so he was left without a band. He kind of traveled the country doing odd jobs. Just had a pretty down and out life, and even as recent as the 90s, I think he was hospitalized for an illness. He had got a shot of penicillin. He was allergic to it, almost died. Just really one thing after another. And so, as cliche as this sounds, the story of Charles Bradley is kind of a testament that really dreams never die, because in the early 2000s, he was finally discovered, and his first album, believe it or not, his debut album, How Often Does This Happen, was put out when he was 62 years old. So it is just a really amazing story. There's a documentary that just came out on Charles Bradley called Soul of America, and I highly recommend you guys seeking that out. Everything I talk about, everything I show in here, I'm going to have a link to my blog's website where you can see, where you can check out these different things and order them, as well as a photograph of me getting to meet Charles Bradley. So Zia Records hosted them. I waited in line. It was you know, there was a nice group of people there, and this whole thing couldn't have happened to what I would consider a more deserving person. His voice, the emotion that he puts into the songs, everything about it is just really uplifting. And when he was signing my records, when I shook his hand, he stopped what he was doing and he just looked up at me and he just said, "Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here." And I was just really blown away by just his sincerity and his genuine appreciation. So his band is a group of Brooklyn instrumental musicians, the Menahan Street Band, and they performed on his first album as well as on Victim of Love. And like I was saying before, everything about this, there's no retro vibe to it. It is the sound of like the 60s and early 70s, and it is genuine, from the backing vocals, from the sound of the microphones, from everything about it. It just resonates from that time period. And the artwork as well, same thing. It just has that feel from that time period, and the visuals of that. Really great heavy cardstock on these album covers, and just a really great production. The sound quality is excellent. There's the label on that one. So there's been one single that's been released from this album on 7-inch, and that's Strictly Reserved, backed with Let Love Stand a Chance, and that's the B-side on that 7-inch single, which I don't have. But you know, when you listen to these songs, and they had them playing while at the record store, both the albums, over the store speakers, and you know, I was already familiar with them, but just hearing them, it just made me think, you know, this is a person that when they sing, there's no everything is sung with a purpose. Every emotion, every word that he's singing, there's no extra words put in there for any other extraneous purpose. Everything is heartfelt, it's sincere, it's just an emotional outpouring, pain, heartache, loss, and elation, you know. And there's a sense of just seeing him, you know, walk through that door when he was going to meet the people that were there. Just this smile of appreciation on his face, and almost a little bit of disbelief. And I think, you know, in the music industry, it's a really special thing to see that. What can I say about this album? It's excellent. The first 3 tracks, it's just bam, bam, bam. The 3 of my Strictly Reserved for You, so great. The backing vocals, Strictly Reserved. You Put the Flame on it. It's just excellent. It makes you feel good when you listen to it. Victim of Love, the title tracks. I'm a victim. Just when you hear him singing it, man, it's excellent. And there's an instrumental track on here called Dusty Blue. Really recommend that one as well. It reminds me of Booker T, something about it. And yeah, Crying in the Chapel, another excellent track. Confusion's a little bit more experimental sounding, I guess I would say, for what, you know, for the style of music it is. It's a little bit different, but still from beginning to end, as well as his debut album, beginning to end, these are just gems. All right, let me see if anything else I wanted to mention from this. No, I think that's about it for today. So like I said, I'd like to thank Zia Records for putting that event on and allowing people the chance to meet the man behind the music. So this is Victim of Love. I'll have links. I'll have the link with my photograph with him. He was so gracious, stood up with everyone and took pictures, and just couldn't have happened better. This couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. So all that'll be linked in the description box, and I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching.